do I teach the Bible in such a way that puts it out there as authoritative?
As a historical text, yes, but not as like, this is the right way to do things, not as like in a spiritual or religious way.
So you think that I don't reinforce the authority of the text, except as something that's historically relevant? Fred, you were shaking or nodding your head over there?
Yes. I mean, the class is basically about how it's not a good authority because there's a lot of like disputation and stuff.
So you think I teach it in a way that detracts from its authority?
Kind of did. I thought there was more authority in it before sitting through this class. So.
I wouldn't necessarily teach it that it's less authoritative, but knowing all the facts and stuff, it kind of, just knowing everything kind of makes it less authoritative.
Yeah, it's nothing against you, it's just the course in general.
Not necessarily that you
Just
teach it that way,
just the
but
facts of the matter
I
make it
also
seem less
thought
authoritative.
About it before this class too.
You might be right.
A lot of the stuff that we're learning about it, so kind of does make it less.
Anthony, you were saying something?
I was going to say, you might detract like the spiritual value, but you don't detract the historical value.
If you guys haven't noticed, I'm like Mr. Anti-devotional, right? I don't teach it in a devotional way at all. Never once in this class have we asked, how could we apply this to our lives today? However, most Bible classes, you would get some of that. Whether or not you're at a secular school, a non-secular school, you would usually get a little bit of, how might this be made relevant to you today? How do you think, well, just hypothetically speaking, shoot, I'll go ahead, I'll ask. How do you think you could apply the apocalyptic message of Jesus in the Gospel of Mark to your life today?
I think that we, as a whole society, need to come together and realize that, you know, what we do has consequences, and if we don't, you know, change our, you know, corrupt ways, because that's basically like what's been going on, you know, God has the power to take it away.
And I think also, I agree with that, but in a not like God sort of way, the message of Mark just in, you know, putting other people first and like not being so competitive to be the best and to be, you know, to have everything and something to kind of realize that and be grateful and less, you know, greedy is like a message that regardless of your religion is kind of important.
So you personally find that message valuable, the first shall be last type of thing?
Well, just that, you know, you know, that there are times when you should be putting other people first, and there are times where you should, you know, sacrifice a little bit of, you know, of your excess so that others can benefit.
Right. Jim, did you have your hand up?
Well, no, I was just going to ask, like, since Ehrman kind of writes, like, anti-devotional, that's kind of like what his thing is, like, what would you think, and since you teach it that way, what would you think he means by timeless value, that it has a timeless value?
I think that he means something like the Bible is something that has some sort of permanent authority. I don't think he follows the Bible, but I think he thinks that there's some permanent value to it. That doesn't really answer your question.
Even if you're not looking at it as an authority, he still thinks it's like...
I think that he would think it's like reading Jean-Paul Sartre, right? Most people don't read Sartre, but he would say, you know, if you read Sartre, you'd probably learn something of value about the meaning of life, etc. I think for him, it's like that. They can teach you something about the meaning of life, even if you don't agree with it. I think that's what he means. I don't know. I haven't met the guy. He seems like a nice guy. He's been attacked by a lot of people because of his anti-devotional approach to the study. One last question. Since we're asking, how might you apply this to your own life? How could we apply Jesus' teaching about becoming a eunuch for the kingdom of God today, here and now?
Wait, is that?
Yeah, that's a eunuch.
Maybe not to be distracted by, you know, like superficial and like to be consuming your whole life life with like sex and stuff like that. It's like you concentrate, not necessarily maybe on God, but that you concentrate on, you know, doing the right thing or something other than just like sex.
So you maybe say like maybe we could take away from that the idea that we should make priorities in life and our sexual behavior should not be a priority.
Yeah.
That's pretty clever. I like it. Not saying I agree. I don't say, you guys notice I don't ever say exactly what I think about anything in here. All right, I'll let you guys go. If you have a